So today we're going to be showing off Teemo. I've been testing his decks in set 1. I think set 2 he's worse. He's definitely worse. But you can play rats inside the rat deck. So this is basically just more rats, more mouse bites to the deck, pretty much. And I think he has a lot of potential. Like I think Ezreal is definitely better. This is a poor man's Ezreal, but the tricks you can do using this deck and using stuff like Edge of Night and having just a 2-drop in your champ zone so you never have to play them in your deck is incredibly strong. I think there's interesting play lines that no other deck can do. That's a lie, but I'm going to cope harder because I love this deck. I don't like Teemo. Fuck this guy in League. But yeah, the deck's great. So of course we'll be playing purple Teemo because there's no other reason to play blue. Blue kind of just sucks. Like, you need to build an entire deck around him, and even then, he's just, like, not great. But, yeah, let's get into the profile. So, we'll start off with runes. It's a 9-3 split. Literally, the only reason we play 3 at all is, you can accelerate Watcher. That's it. And I guess you could tell, like, in a pinch, pay for, like, Nocturne with it, but, like, fuck it. Whatever. You're not here for runes. Here for the deck. But we didn't talk battlefields. So our battlefield choices are really interesting. Obelisk is just a given. I mean, it just like lets you go first and you just set up really strong plays. Going first and setting up card sharp to then just immediately start getting insane value off of pick crew is of course really strong. It also just allows you going second. Like you can immediately do pick crew and Cole if you draw it, which is great. You can stack deck into your 3-drops. There's a lot of flexibility, but a lot of decks are playing this now. So I've ended up playing a lot of games where I've ended up just having like 2 obelisks, and you just kind of sit there and you just don't know what to do with yourself. So just be careful when choosing this base. It's typically not a going first base. It is a going first base, but it's not the first base you choose. The first base I typically choose is between these 2. If I need to hit my Nocturnes, like against Kaiser or like Rek'Sai, I'll choose Candlelit. Because this base just like like I've easily hit 3 Nocturnes a game with this base because it's just so consistent. You'll easily find 2 of it, which is great. And then Treasure Hoard is basically just like it's like a Cull on wheels, pretty much. Like you don't need to find Cull to have your Pickaroo trigger, which is nice. Like this base does kind of suck. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm not gonna tell you it's like the bee's knees or anything. Like it's completely fine, but I just don't think there's any other base like I particularly love for this deck. Yeah, like there's been a few situations where like Bandle Tree would have been great, which is really weird to say. But I just think like the idea of like not needing to find like a key combo piece and still get a combo is really strong. So those are your battlefields. Typically this is what I'll start with, and then going if I lose and I'm not going first, it'll be Obelisk and then end with Treasure Hoard. So getting into the deck, we're playing 3 Pit Crew. Shock Horror. This is a rat deck. Like. Rats. That's it. More mouse bites. Picker is really good. Shock Horror. There's an entire reason, but there is a reason why this entire deck exists. It's basically just this card. We lean harder into gear than the Ezreal builds, but less into control. So we're incredibly good at attacking from behind. And against certain like archetypes, that's really strong. And against others, it sucks. Like we lose to Radio, which is so weird because like Rat Ezreal typically does well into it, but like we just cannot deal with any of their units on base. So be careful about that, but we'll talk more about that later. Yep, you know what Pit Crew does. There's no real need to explain it. We then have 3 card shot. This is pretty much like your best going first. Like, your opponent will never take the gold. They shouldn't ever take the gold. If they do, great. Like, you immediately set up draw border, which is just fucking great. But, like, worst case you get a gold off of it. It doesn't cost a power. Like, it presents pressure. The card's just fantastic. Like, and there are times where you'll have a pick on board and you're like, oh, I need to ready it somehow, play card chart, great. Yeah, once again, another fantastic 3 of. 2 Ezreal, I'm poor. Yeah, like, I'm running a 1 of Pickpocket. In fact, we'll show off the rest of the 3-drops, which is the Fizz. Like, the 1 of Fizz I love. Like, this makes complete sense to me, but actually, you can reasonably just either play the 1 of Pickpocket or just play 3 Ezreal. I don't need to explain why Ezreal is good. Cool drop is cheaper. Whole bargain, I guess, if you're into that. But it also sets up some miracle stuff. Not that we main board the Razas. We'll talk about that later. But But the one of pickpocket does come up. Like it's really nice into into an Ezreal. Funny enough, because you can hit the coal. It's good into seals. Of course, that's why we're playing it. But you can completely just sideboard this if you want. But the one of Fizz, like this card is so flexible. I've considered two, but the issue with two is like it just like goes straight to bottom whenever I have two. So I like taking it and then just kind of sitting because it's either a fight or flight. It's a rebuke when I need it. It's worst case, it's just draw or like a stack deck. Like it's just such a great card. And if I could find space for a second, I probably would. But that's what we're going for. So those are our 3 drops. 4 drops are very simple. We've got 3-drop Boulder. Yeah, this card's real fucking good. So spoiler alert, we're playing Edge of Night. So I think in total we're playing 7 gear, and that's not including the gold that we generate. So like getting this to trigger is insanely easy, and nobody expects it for some fucking like nobody. This card is so good, but like it's just never seen play. Absolute worst case, like it's just a 4-my unit, whatever. But like best case, like you just bring this in, you have some gold, you just like equip an edge to it, and now it's a 6-might just coming in, like. And there have been turns where I've changed like 2 of these back to back, and just like basically baited all the answers out of the hand with the first one, and then just gone, oh, this was my real plan all along. So, drop board is one of the reasons why this deck is so gear focused. He's pretty much always a take. Like, there's just no reason not to. Love it. Love it. Highly recommend. Like, this is the reason to play Teemo over Ezreal. And hey, look at that. Nocturnes. Now, I was a Nocturne hater for the longest time. I'm still a Nocturne hater. But, oh my god, the fucking dopamine hitting one of these motherfuckers off the top of the deck. I had a stacked deck, hit 2 of these in one search, and my opponent's just scooped. It happens, like, it's just so strong. Like, drawing these is the worst thing in the game. In fact, same fucking set. Ezreal discard, draw 2, drew 2 of these. And I was like, well, okay, I lose, I won. Go me. But seriously, Nocturne is fantastic. Like, you do so much searching. Like, once Cool Shot gets hit, because it probably will get hit, not that I'm advocating for it or anything. This card obviously becomes a lot worse, but for now, like, it's completely it is a fantastic card. It is high roller, yes, but if you see this card, like, you struggle. This deck struggles hard in Kaiser as well, like most decks. But like, if you hit 2 of these, like, you're laughing. Like, you just win that matchup so easily because they just can't keep up with the pressure. And then our final units, 2 Watchers. Now, this could be a 1-1 split. This could become a Mind Splitter, and this could stay a Watcher. The difference is like, because we run so many like low-end units, like being able to just say -3 and then start trading in with our weak like card sharps and whatnot, or like making them positive trade is really, really strong. And 1 feels so clunky because it's a personal thing. I always seem to just draw this in my opening hands, and then I just don't know what to do with my life because like I can't mulligan it because I'll never see it again. But I think 2 is like perfectly fine. I have considered side decking Mind Splitter for certain matchups, but like I think Watcher is just like generically more useful, so we're going to continue with it. Moving on to spells. Hey, look at that, we're playing the good purple cards. Yeah, these are both ridiculous. Most of the time I actually do prefer stack deck, weirdly, but because like there have been situations where I've been forced to cool shot without gold, and it just feels really bad, or at Ezreal, but you know, gets the job done. I'd also like to say I'm not playing seals. So this is a budget-friendly deck. The issue with seals as well, like I find, is like it kind of just clogs up deck space. Like if I could play seals, I'd play 2 at most. But I don't know. I'm not a massive lover of seals. But yeah, this is your standard Miracle purple. I'm gonna go search the entire deck package. With that on 2 Rebuke, I am very much considering cutting to 1. I don't know, like the matchups where Rebuke comes up, like it's a game-winning card, but it's the same thing as Punch First, where like the threat of a Rebuke is just kind of better than a Rebuke most of the time. And like the decks where this really matters, aka like the big green decks, well they just not so fast it, and you're kind of just back to square 1. So I don't love it. I would honestly rather play a second hard bargain, but for now it's 2 Rebuke. 2 Flight or Flight. Hey, look, you can hide it for 1. It's a great card. Like, yeah, keep it in hand, yada yada yada. But like, there are occasions where you can just like push something off. Like you push off like Ferris Forerunner, and then you can just like move in, actually take the base, pop back. Yeah, they move Forerunner back next turn, but like once again, like this is a massive tempo deck where you just like constantly just want to be scoring points. You never want to hold, you just want to be in out, constantly making gold, and then just like pressing your advantage. And yeah, once again, Fizz being a 3rd copy of this is really nice, but I wouldn't even play a 3rd copy. I think 2 is perfectly fine. One hard bargain, as I said, in the lovely Rebuke section where I complain about Rebuke. This could be a 12. This card is, I'm not going to say it's underrated, because it's not underrated. Shocker. It's really good. The thing is with it is, your opponent expects 1. So whenever I whip out the second, because I play second side, and I was siding in pretty much like, I've played 3 locals with this, and I have a win record of, oh crap, 9-2. Yeah, 9-2, that's correct. And pretty much like in most of those games, I was just siding in the second one, because like, nobody expects the second one, and you can just throw away the first one. It's insane. It's insane how people just do not respect this card. Even if you just like present 4 up, they'll be like, oh yeah, it could be half bargain. And then they'll just like play into it anyway. And there was a turn where like my entire board was going to get wiped by Imperial Decree Bellows, and he just overextended to get the repeat, which he did not need. And yeah, shock horror, this just done it. This just did it. He could even pay for like the standard cost of our bargain. So it's a great card. 2 wages. Hey, this card gets sided out every single game. Like, I don't know, the issue with wages in this deck, and I might cut it. Like, we don't run Frigid Touch, we don't run Stupefy, and we don't run Smokescreen, and we don't run like any of the -my stuff. So like, unless it's Kaiser, this card kind of sucks. Like, I like hiding it and then like popping it to then ready a pit crew. That's fine, and like in the matchups it matters. Like, you know, it hits like Fan and whatnot. Like, that's cool. But this card does kind of suck. Like, I don't know. Pretty much every single game, like, it just got sided out because it just doesn't hit the full my threshold, and we don't play Void Gate to like take full advantage of that. I said, like, into Kaiser is nice because they'll play the Void Gate for you, and it's like, oh great, yeah, this card's useful now. But you could definitely cut this if you wanted to cut this for like, in fact, if you cut this for Seal, like, this deck probably gets like this significantly better. But there you are. One Singularity. Hey, this card is kind of weird. This format, I don't know, like, there have been matches where I've won off this card. Absolutely, you just like pop things on base and then you just like move in. Great. Or you hit what they're going to attack you with. Yeah, we all know why this card is great. But in this format, like right now, it's so awkward because like with decks like Fiora and Aurelia running around, like it's either just going to be GA'd or reposted, or just like there's so many ways to stop this card. So like, oh, the one is fine because you just normally bottom it and then you just like play for a cheaper out that they need to answer. So like, Rebuke is better than this. Well, Rebuke is just better than this because it's the same power cost. It's still going to get not so fasted, and then I still have 4 mana up to try and deal with their crap. So, but it's still good. It's still Singularity. There you go. Yep, combo piece. Who'd have guessed it? You could definitely cut the 2. Like, it just, anytime you're like past the first one, it feels really bad because like once you got the first, it's kind of like great. But as I said, like if you do have 4 runes and you're either going first or you've got the obelisk, like hitting this immediately just creates so much pressure that your opponent just can't really deal with. And plus, getting your gold generation early is fantastic. And then, hey, my literal favourite card in the deck, Edge of Night. This should be a 12, but I like 3. The thing is, like, nobody respects Edge of Night. Like, slapping this on a Nocturne just kind of wins games. Especially with, like, a Cull underneath it. It's the main way to get your might up so you can actually push past, like, the really annoying, like, green stuff and orange stuff. And like I've had like 10 might card sharps just win games before, and it does happen. It's quite rare, but the fact that you can just pay 1 and just get a 2 might buff, like you're never paying 3 for this. If you are, then the card sucks, and the card sucks regardless. But it's still nice. I would still recommend it. And then hey, Swifties, no last rights because we're not actually playing Miracle, but yeah, this card's really good. If you get it with Pickeroo, of course you can do the double conquer stuff, which is great. But like frankly, like the 2 might buff is actually the reason it comes up more. And a lot of opponents like kind of don't respect Swifties, which is weird. Especially with a deck that just constantly readies itself. Not as relevant, obviously, with the Nocturnes, yeah, but like you could replace this with Last Rights, but like I just don't know what you're playing off for Last Rights. I guess the Fizz, so you can constantly do like cool combos and stuff. Like, I don't know that. So that's your main deck. Side deck. This changes a lot. But you've got your 2 standard factory recall. Hey, look at that, gear hate. Look, I haven't played against Aurora, so I don't know how this deck does into Aurora. I imagine we do fairly well into it anyway, because we're fairly fast on the uptake and we just draw so many cards. Unless it's Silver Hand Rip, in which case like we kind of just get fucked, I imagine. But hey, but yeah, no, standard gear hate, you're fine. 1 switcheroo. Hey, this card has literally won me 1 game, and that's enough for me to keep it in. I don't know, like, it's a fine card. I think it's a card that nobody respects still, like, because in hidden purple, like, you're just expecting Fireflight. In blue, you're expecting wages. Like, nobody really expects switcheroo. And it just makes some really interesting trades for you, and or force your opponent to like commit to more, which is nice. Second hard bargain, hey, yeah, we've been over this. Hard bargain's ridiculous, great card. I play one smokescreen. Hey, this card's not very good. It is. It's just like super defiable. I know it's like a really shit argument against like any card being good, because like you could just make the argument like no card ever is good because it can just be defied. But like ultimately, like what smokescreen gives in this deck is like the ability for wages to just kill. Hooray. And it lets decks like kind of get overzealous. Like once again, nobody's playing around smokescreen. Like it's a card that catches people off so much. Because when you present 2 in purple, once again, you're expecting Fireflies. Weirdly enough, you might be expecting Switcheroo more or the hard bargain. People don't plan for neg 4. Your second pickpocket, because seals are annoying. Seals are really annoying, so just kill them. Also, there's some weird play lines where, you know, if you've got like enough mana, you can give them the card shop. Sometimes they'll take it and then you just nick it immediately. And then you're like 3 gold up and they have nothing. This also does trigger Pickaroo, so that's pretty cool. And then, weirdly enough, the 2 Raza inside. Hey, I don't love Raza. Look, Raza's a great card. Like, I'm not going to try and fucking tell you it's not. The issue with Raza is, like, if you draw him, like, any time you've got, like, more than, like, I don't know, 5, 6 cards in trash, like, he's just completely dead. He also, like, because we're not running seals, he just, like, actually just eats fruit power, which we're already not great at managing. So, like, on, like, a treasure hoard kind of, you know, game, it feels better. But he's pretty much here for the really annoying control matchups, aka Kaiser, because you can just side these in, and then, once again, it's the idea of just slamming at least one of these. It's like, oh, that's like a falling star that this now has to eat. And then you slap an Edge of Night under it, now it's 8 might, and there's just nothing they can do. Like, yeah, they can watch it. Obviously, they can do things, but it's more pressure than I have to deal with. So, what have we learned today? Today we've learned that Teemo is still a bad deck. But poor man Ezreal. And also, just the idea of, like, once again, like, this card alone, drop order, just makes me really enjoy playing this deck. And there's certain lines where, like, people just don't expect it. Like, most of my opponents who sat across from me was like, oh, Teemo, cool. I don't know what this does. And that matters. You get your, yay, you get your free game 1, and then they immediately pulverize you. But as I said, I went 9-2 across 3 locals, and my 2 losses were Irelia and Kaiser. Yeah, Irelia's a horrific matchup. I think the side would change to deal with Irelia, but I don't know. Like, Vex feels super clunky, and I think Vex is kind of bait into it. I think Vex, like, but then again, no, it's not, because the reason I lost wasn't because they were attacking me, it's because they were just holding better than I could attack. Like, everything in this deck's like 4 or 3 might, even with buffs, it just feels bad. Like, one Defiant Dance just completely kills any chance I have of attacking, and Shock Horror, well, crap example, Defiant Dance is obviously a ridiculous card, but there you are. But I recommend building this. It's cheap enough, you know. I mean, the most expensive card in this deck would be Ezreal at 25 each. But you can easily build this for what, 70? I don't know. I'm genuinely trying to feel like any other card that's like remotely expensive in this deck, but there's nothing. Oh, watch us 10 each. Yeah, sure. Call it sub 100. Why not? Which is affordable compared to Flesh and Blood and Magic. So there you go. Yeah, that's all. Cheers.